Hello everyone, and welcome to another world reading here at Mad World Tarot. A beautiful Tuesday afternoon as I am doing this reading, and I have the new chapter tarot on the tarot table, and this is because we are looking at Netflix's intentions once their contract with the Parkles is over. And according to Neil Sean, Netflix is considering doing a scripted series on the Parkles like The Crown. I'm calling it The Clown. They're not going Tiger King, much I think as everyone would like them to go Tiger King. This is allegedly, of course. I don't think that they can use the footage that the Parkles shot for legal reasons. They can't use that. The stuff that was left on the cutting floor by Liz Garbus when she made that documentary series, Harry and Meghan. So they can't use that. They can't go Tiger King. But allegedly, the story is that they are considering doing this scripted content, a Harry and Meghan spectacle, tracing, I suppose, their time in the royal family and then their rush for freedom. And this would be to recoup their losses. And they have seemingly lost quite a lot of money out of this deal with Harry and Meghan. Very few things produced by Harry and Meghan, and what they have produced, the three things that they have managed to produce so far have not done particularly well, even though there were lots of eyes on the documentary itself, the Harry and Meghan's documentary. It ultimately didn't do very well. Viewing figures, stats have been released recently. There was an article in Newsweek about it a few days ago, and it was pretty dismal from the Parkles' point of view and from Netflix's point of view. So we're going to have a quick look, just a little 5-card reading to warm things up today with the new chapter tarot. We're going to ask what Netflix's intentions are once this contract runs its course. I think it's 2025 when it's finally over. What their intentions are. Are they intending to do a Crown type series on the Parkles? Where their loyalties lie? Of course, at the moment they are business partners. We saw Meghan beaming away in the fancy box with a Netflix dude and his wife a few weeks ago. How the Parkles feel about potentially being the subject matter of this. William allegedly wants Harry to come out and denounce Netflix for having Diana's ghost appear in the latest season. He's so far been very quiet, hasn't said a word, but how do they feel about possibly being the target of something like this, the subject of this series, and are we going to see something? Of course, the Parkles are going through a rough time at the moment. South Park is allegedly going to be doing a second show on them. Family Guy had a little moment as well, ripping them off. John Kerry had a moment denouncing them. Everyone was denouncing them at the moment. Times are tough if you're a Parkle fan, if you're a squaddy. But let's see what's going on. Little 5-card reading. I think we're nearly there. And let's remind you that it's tarot. One more shuffle. Yeah, there we are. Flying cards. We like to see that. Let's remind you it's tarot for fun and entertainment. All my opinions, all speculation. We just read energy here, archetypal energy, and disclaimer in the box below. So are we going to see The Clown on Netflix anytime soon? I would renew my subscription for that, I have to say. It might be worth however much it is. I know that subscriptions have gone up recently. People are grumbling about that, but you've got to pay Harry and Meghan, of course. You know, they've got money to get back. We got the 8 of Discs, 8 of Pentacles as our underlying energy. That's the card of work. And as I say, Parkles haven't exactly covered themselves in glory with their Netflix deal. They didn't seem to work very hard, didn't produce much. The few things that they came up with, Meghan and Pearl and whatever, was shot down in flames and go away, not interested. She did try and cart it around for a while to other streaming services, but no one was biting. But there it is, card of work. Got to make your money, got to make your coin, got to have something to show for what you're doing. It's a bit of a Meghan vibe, this card. Actually, there she is at that table that acts as her office in that only corner of that strange mansion that we ever see. And there it is, Madame hard at work with drafting content for Netflix. but really probably writing her memoirs, more likely. That's just the vibe that's coming off that card. I don't think she's particularly interested in producing anything more for Netflix. There is that movie, that rom-com that they're attached to, but by name only, a lot of people speculate. So anyway, there it is, working hard for your money. You've got to work hard for your money if you've got to deal with Netflix, and Netflix certainly wants their money, that's for sure. The situation that we're dealing with the clown. Ooh, Six of Swords. People who are very eager to leave a mess behind them and move on from that mess. Put some safe distance between themselves and the mess that they made. And the mess is an ideas related mess, because it's the Six of Swords, and that's thought, ideas, communications. Things went south. Things got very awkward between the Parkles and Netflix, I would say, with that card. And I think they're all keen to put that behind them and pretend it never happened. Six of Swords. So both parties, I think, are eager to get to the end of this contract and be able to walk away and say, well, thank you, it was brilliant, and we both benefited. You know, that usual rot that people say, unlike the Spotify thing with the effing grifters comment. So let's see what Netflix is contemplating. Are they, or do they have their writers busy knocking out storyline episodes and things for this? What's going on? I know they're not allowed to technically at the moment because of the strike, but what is going on? Is Netflix planning something after the contract is over? Ooh, yes. I've got the Tower, but it's the Tower in reverse. And this as well, that whole situation blew up with the Parkles. It was a catastrophe. Tower, I didn't expect it to go so horribly wrong, but we got to fix this somehow. And that's the Tower in reverse. It's rebuilding after a disaster. They've lost money. They need this Eight of Pentacles back. Times are tough out there in the streaming world. It's not like it was a few years ago where everyone was stuck at home binge watching. People are back in the real world, living their lives. And as I say, times are tough. You've got to fix this Tower. You've got to rebuild. You've got to recoup. And how else do you do it but go straight back to the stars of the show and make a show about them again, but scripted content this time. I think that there is some thought about this going on at the moment, and can we? What do the lawyers say? What do the what's that word? Market research people. What do they say? What's going on? Is there an appetite for this? How can we fix this mess? There it is, Tower in reverse. It's possible with that card. Where do their loyalties lie at Netflix? Do they feel that they owe Harry and Meghan some sort of loyalty? Are they dear friends? Or do they think, well, hell, they messed us around. We can certainly make a new series about them. Where do the loyalties lie at Netflix? Knight of Wands. It's a bit of a Harry energy there. I think there's some loyalty towards Harry. There's certainly not a Meghan energy in that card, Knight of Wands. They might feel some sympathy for the errant prince. It does seem that people who have to do with him develop some sort of sympathy for him along the way. He seems quite likable, perhaps because he's just stupid and a fish out of water, and there's almost a protective energy around him. We've got two cards in this reading, interestingly, about travel. Six of Swords and Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is very much somebody who's moving home, who's left home, who's on a big adventure. And they might feel almost paternal towards him and protective. And, oh, well, here comes this naive, innocent soul. And he was all enthusiastic and so keen to please and so excited to write. At some stage, he was writing screenplays. We heard that a few years ago. I had a good laugh when I read that he was writing superhero type movies. Now, apparently, he's writing crime novels. And there, I did mention someone writing at that desk. Perhaps they're both sitting there at that desk side by side, as they do with their laptops, on piles of unsold copies of The Bench, and he's bashing out a crime story and she's writing her memoirs, or perhaps even writing the screenplay for the clown. You never know. But I think there is some sympathy for him there that might hold him back just a little bit. Just a little bit. How do the Parkles feel about possibly being the subject of a Netflix series, and not a documentary, but a series? Like it. Happy. 10 of Cups, because they think that it would show them in a very positive light. The fantastic family, so devoted to each other and their children that they had to leave the cruel royal family and the awful Brits behind and flee and go and make a new life for themselves in California. Never mind the detour via Canada, where there was hope of being Governor General, allegedly. Laugh. But 10 of Cups, yeah, that's fine. They don't seem to think it would go Tiger Kingish. So quite happy. So this isn't horror and dismayed, oh no, get the lawyers, none of that. And as I say, there is some sympathy towards the has-been here, so maybe it would be quite a flattering story. We're going to have to check. Didn't think of asking that. I just assumed, because I know how I would write it. If only they would let me. One can dream. But perhaps it's going to be a kind version of the truth, a bit like Omid Scobie, Finding Freebies. Perhaps it's based on Finding Freebies and Part 2 Endgame, which we are going to read in a month's time, apparently. Outcome, are we going to see such a series on the Parkles, the clown? We may, because this is the quid pro quo card. This is, I'm saying, recouping their losses here. And the Six of Pentacles is evening a situation out. We gave $100 million to you. Well, not really, but quite a large chunk of money apparently went the Parkles' way along the way during the course of this contract. And so now you owe us. And we're going to get our money back. 6 of Discs, 6 of Pentacles. So it does seem that they are thinking about it, how they can recover from this disaster, the Tower in reverse, and they do need to even the situation out, recoup their losses, make things work, make money. Tone of this thing, I didn't think to ask this, so let's ask a tone of this thing. If we see it, how will it represent the Parkles? How will they be represented in this? Will it be a kindly version of events or not? How will they depict the Parkles if they do this clown series? How will they show them? How will they depict them? Will it be 10 of Cups? Or will it be 10 of Swords, for instance? How will they depict the Parkles? And what happens if they divorce? We won't ask that, but how will this go? I suppose the divorce could be, oh, it was too difficult. Everyone was so awful and hated us so much. We couldn't. No, that's too many. That's 4 cards. Can't have 4 cards. Just one, please. What the tone of this thing? How would it depict the Parkles? There we go. Something has come out. Princess of Swords. It will be the Parkles in the face of adversity. The Princess of Swords. So I don't think I'm going to renew my subscription based on this reading. Alas. Somebody who's had to slay dragons to get where she's going. It's interesting that it's a female energy. It's normally the Page of Swords, and normally quite a male energy. But the Princess of Swords there is somebody who's out on an adventure, somebody who, as I say, has to brace themselves, can't settle, can't rest. They went out on this adventure. We've got Has-Been, the Knight of Wands, on his adventure. She went off overseas on her adventure and then found that she was beset by problems, people who were unkind, and had to grow up, had to do research online to learn the words of God Save the Queen, because it's very difficult to learn. And things like that, learn how to curtsy, the awful things she had to suffer and endure. Lady Glenconnor has had things to say about that in the last day or two, and I will read on that in due course. But I just wanted to have a look at these TV stories. We've got another one coming up in the next reading about the Kardashians. But no, I don't think it's going to be Tiger King. Not at all. Not with the Princess of Swords. It could almost be the Pearl character, but turned into real life drama with Meghan Markle at the heart of it. all-American girl, biracial, who went off to England to marry a prince and then found that she was received in a hostile way and it was a cruel world. And at some stage she even wanted to off herself and had to in fact then take herself off and go back to America and become a star in America. Star, at least possibly, of a reality TV show. And that's where we are heading next. Thank you for watching this one. And I hope to see you over there.